figure it out. Okay, here comes the solution in 3, 2, 1. The trick is to realize that in 3D, filling is easier than draining. There are efficient flooding algorithms which are essentially the same as the magic wand or paint bucket tool in image editing software that allow you to select or fill up to a certain depth. They work by starting with an initial point. Instead of a drain, think of it like a water spigot, and flooding outwards by comparing the colors, or height in our case, at neighboring points, and filling them in and keeping going as long as the height or color difference stays within a given amount, called the threshold of the height of the initial point. Once the threshold is passed, the algorithm stops expanding in that direction, and any points that you've reached are considered flooded or filled. There's a whole field of physics and math called percolation theory that you can get into just by pondering the paint bucket tool. But anyway, if you keep flooding or paint bucketing with higher and higher thresholds, i.e. higher water levels, then eventually you'll fill in landlocked areas as well as regular seafloor. But there's a big difference in how they get covered with water, since landlocked seas fill all at once when the water level gets high enough to flood into the basin, while regular seafloor is just gradually covered up as the water level rises. One way to visualize basins is to look at just the new area that gets flooded each time you increase the water level. I think this time-lapse is mesmerizing and is reminiscent of bacterial growth or the spread of wildfire or disease or something. The big flashes are the basins getting filled in. By comparing the water level necessary to inundate a location for the first time with the elevation of that location, you can find what points are in landlocked seas. If the elevation of the location is equal to the water level that inundates it, it's not landlocked, while if the elevation of the location is below the necessary water level, it must have been landlocked. And that necessary water level is the water level of the landlocked sea that would form there, ignoring erosion. Once you've completely flooded everything and found all the landlocked seas, you can play the flooding in reverse, but keep the landlocked seas, and voila, you have successfully drained